All right. It probably just needs another second here. I should be live. Should be able to hear me. Should be able to see charts. We'll be going over the market and going over today's play. So let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for July 30th, 2021. Last trading day of July here. And we had Amazon reports last night, and that is what contributed to the gap down in the Qs. You see the Amazon, the gap down here, and then the Qs today gapping down, I think like 1%, a little over 1%. SPY was gapping down a little over 0.5%. And then IWM was gapping down a little bit as well. Now, coming into today, we were bullish on the Qs and SPY and IWM. And IWM we were neutral on, but Qs and SPY were bullish. And then we had this support here from the bottoming tail as our line in the sand here under 360 on the Qs, and SPY underneath 435.99, so under 435.90. So that's going to be the same going into Monday. Basically, even though we had this gap down today, you can see that the gap down didn't follow through enough, actually didn't get really much follow through at all to break the support and to turn the smaller time frames into a downtrend. Now, we could on Monday, okay, but so far we've been kind of flat. Now, IWM, we've been talking about how this is looking to turn the corner. Was it going to happen this week? This week at least ended the downtrend, okay? And so you can see here, the longer that it bases, this 20 MA is going to start to flatten out, start to curl up. That's going to get the hourly chart to turn into an uptrend here, where so far it's been very sideways. Price above, below, above, and now we're basically back at it. So we are starting to look more and more bullish. That's why we are anticipating that the IWM does turn the corner and join the Qs and SPY and being bullish. But we'll see if Qs and SPY perhaps start to put in a short-term downtrend. If they continue lower and into next week, then that would trump whatever the IWM I think has planned, and if the Qs and SPY turn bearish, then that's going to be the dominant bias that we're going to have. But for right now, given what we have on the charts, Qs and SPY bullish going into Monday, and then IWM still neutral, okay? But the longer that it stays here, the more bullish. If it has a nice bullish day at some point next week, gets back up to 227 or so, then the next pullback will be viable. Okay? All right, so that is the bias. Really not that different than yesterday. Okay? Even though we had the gap down today, the gap down got bought, and the gap down wasn't enough to break support. All right, let's go over the plays from today. I'm not really going over every play because it's earnings season now. We have a lot of things to go over, so I'm going to go over primarily the ones that got called. But there are plenty out there, plenty that I missed. And that's why I told the room too. I kind of know that it's earnings season when, I have things on charts and I completely don't see them when they trigger because I'm looking at something else, I'm doing something else or whatever. And then I miss them and wish I'd seen them. That's kind of how I know it's earnings season. So we have a lot more going on. But here's what got called today in the room. ATOS, nice call here from James. On the breakdown right here. You see it's basing at the lows, nice gap down here, nice base, gapping underneath the base, and then breaking down from there. Okay, so you're starting to see, we're starting to get a lot of these just better gaps, right? So, BCOV and the BCEL yesterday, there's the base. Now this one was too big. ATOS is actually a little bit better because it's not excessive in its size. We don't want it to be so big that longs that are trapped in it give up on it and don't want to get out because they just consider it a lost cause, right? So that's the reason we don't want the gap to be so big. We want it to be damaging enough, but still worthwhile for trapped longs to want to sell. And so that selling is going to help produce the downtrend. So nice base breakdown there on the ATOS. This one was hard to manage though. Look at that pop there. And I was even staring at it when it did this. And I was not quick enough to get out. So it still ended up being a bit of a winner, but not as nearly as nice, right? Because it was a really pretty tight stop here, just this base right here. And I even was like watching because I saw, okay, we're starting to move. And this just happened so fast that I saw it flash down to $3. I know someone who had a limit order at 3, they didn't get filled. So I'm guessing, not a lot was filled there. Or if it maybe didn't even get all the way to 3. And then it just popped right back up. So there wasn't anything I could do. I was at like 311 before I knew it, and then it started to move up some more. I just had to take it there. So that kind of is a bummer. If you had stuck with it, it does give you kind of another chance to get out, but this time when it gives you the drop, reverse is hard. So as nice as this play was, it did present a challenge as far as, getting out at a good price. That kind of stuff. It's just, it really makes it difficult. So it's good, still winning play, but as far as, what the max opportunity there was a lot greater. It's just the timing wise, it fell so fast that, and reversed so fast. SIMO was a nice breakout from Sammy there. Nice breakout here. I think they were looking for like 72, and you can see this went much, much further. Pretty nice gap here, had a short-term downtrend on the daily and then reversed that trend, and then off it went and took off. So that was probably one of the biggest moves that we saw today in terms of reward to risk here on the SIMO. Really, really nice. The ZYXI, again, pretty good gap here into some support, but almost an island reversal here. See how we have the gap up and we set up this island here, and then we reverse the island. Okay, so that's always going to have a good shock value and be more impactful. Okay, so nice just base here, and then the breakdown here, and then the last play here, the NWL. Again, a really nice gap. You can see the quality of gaps that we're getting are much better. Now this initially gap to support, but then based at it and broke through. Okay, so the entry wasn't until 25.45. So by that time, it had already cleared the support. I'll show you where the entry was, right here. Okay, 25.45, right there, breaking underneath that right there. Okay, not that different from, if you remember, the CLVT, okay, that we went over here. Low of the day base, and then breakdown. Very similar, also time of day, okay? And then here's the gap, right? Clearing support and following through. Okay, these are the gaps that we miss when it's not earnings season. We're looking at what we have to work with. These are the ones that we, kind of wish we had more of. And then now that it's earnings season, we have so many. Sometimes it's hard to. Of course, it's almost impossible to catch them all, but almost too many to know what to focus on. But if that's the case, I think in the morning it's okay to sit back a little bit. You're gonna miss some stuff, but the challenge is just not to rush. Okay, let the setups kind of form. There'll be some that you just miss out on. There were some this morning, I think that just went right away, like the SWKS. I think right off the bat in the morning. Oops. Here, let me move this back. Just kind of went. I don't really like this as an entry, like as a high-low here. I think this bar's a little bit too big, but you can see the fall that it gets. Eventually it does kind of recover here. So, but that was a pretty good gap. Okay, that was okay to play aggressively at the open. I wouldn't have expected it to recover quite as much as it did, though, given how good the gap is. Maybe the only thing here is that the more that you zoom out, you can see long-term chart is pretty bullish, so I could see why some buyers would want to step up here as a chance to get this, sort of on a discount, but overall a good gap. Okay, so hopefully that's just a sign of more to come. I talked about it yesterday. We can start to increase the aggressiveness, increase the number of plays, and the quality of plays are getting better. And so let's just hope that continues into next week, and so we can stay busy and trade well. Okay, hope you have a good weekend. I will talk to you on Monday.